Have you ever felt like the world around you is spinning faster than ever? Prices rise every month, currencies fall overnight, stock markets crash, recover, and crash again, and every headline seems designed to make you panic. We hear words like inflation, interest rates, recession, quantitative easing, but what do they actually mean for ordinary people? And more importantly, why does everything feel so unstable? Welcome to the Economic Mind. And in this channel, we break down the complex world of economics and finance so you can see what's really happening, not just what you're told to believe. Because understanding economics isn't just for experts or investors. It's for anyone who wants to protect their money, their decisions, and their future. Part 1. The Illusion of Stability. For decades, we were told that the global economy was strong, that growth would continue forever, that innovation and technology would make life easier, and that markets would always recover. But behind that illusion of stability was a system built on one fragile idea: debt. Governments borrow, companies borrow, families borrow. Our entire economic engine depends on credit, on the belief that tomorrow will always be richer than today. But what happens when tomorrow stops delivering? After every crisis, from 2008 to the pandemic, governments and central banks tried to save the system by printing more money and lowering interest rates. It worked for a while. Markets recovered, investors got richer, and the headline said, "The economy is back." But you can't solve a problem created by cheap money with more cheap money. The truth is, we didn't fix the system, we just delayed the consequences. Part 2. The price of cheap money. When central banks keep interest rates low, it becomes easy for everyone to borrow. Governments borrow to fund spending. Corporations borrow to buy back their own stocks. Consumers borrow to buy homes and cars they can't afford. It feels good for a while. Jobs rise, stock markets grow, and everyone feels wealthier. But under the surface, something dangerous starts building: inflation. Too much money chasing too few goods makes prices rise. When everything costs more, your money buys less. Your salary doesn't go as far, and your savings slowly lose value. Inflation is a silent tax. It punishes savers and rewards debtors. And when inflation finally becomes too high, central banks react. They raise interest rates sharply to cool things down. But that's when the other side of the system cracks. Debt becomes more expensive. Governments pay more to service their loans. Businesses struggle. People default. Markets panic. And suddenly, the same money system that made us feel safe turns against us. Part 3. The chain reaction. Think of the global economy like a giant web. When one part shakes, the rest moves too. When the US raises interest rates, countries around the world feel it. The dollar gets stronger, making imports cheaper for Americans, but more expensive for everyone else. Emerging markets see their currencies fall, their debt costs rise, and their people struggle to buy essentials priced in dollars like oil or food. So, a single decision made in Washington or London can cause ripple effects across Africa, Asia, and Latin America. That's the hidden force of modern finance: interdependence. We live in a system where every economy is tied to the same machine, a machine that rewards risk, punishes caution, and depends on constant movement. If growth stops, the system trembles. If people lose faith in money itself, everything changes. Part 4. The real power players. So who controls this machine? It's not just governments or presidents. The real power lies in central banks, financial institutions, and increasingly, algorithms. Every day, trillions of dollars move through digital markets, managed not by people, but by machines trained to react in microseconds. A tweet, a rumor, a policy change can shift billions instantly. Meanwhile, ordinary people see only the headlines. Markets fall, prices rise, unemployment up. But behind those headlines are decisions made by a small number of institutions, the ones who create money, set interest rates, and decide how much debt the world can handle. And while they claim to act independently, their choices shape the lives of billions. Understanding these forces doesn't make you paranoid, it makes you aware. Because once you see how the system works, you start noticing the patterns, the same cycle every time. Easy money, boom, inflation, panic, tight money, recession. Then back again. And through it all, the rich get richer because they understand the game. Part 5. The Age of Misinformation. In today's world, economic news spreads faster than ever, but truth travels slower. Social media simplifies everything into good or bad, boom or crash. But real economics lives in the gray areas, in cause and effect, incentives and behavior. We are told who to blame, but not why it happened. We're told what's happening, but not what it means. That's how manipulation works. Because when people don't understand the system, they can be guided by fear. But fear fades when you understand how things connect. When you know what inflation really is, you stop panicking every time prices rise. When you understand how central banks work, you stop believing that money printing is free help. When you learn how markets react, you stop following headlines and start seeing through them. That's what the economic mind is all about, understanding the why behind the noise. Part 6. Seeing the bigger picture. Here's the truth. The economy isn't just numbers and charts. It's human behavior, politics, technology, psychology, and history repeating itself. Every decision we make, from how we spend to how we vote, is part of a much bigger system. And that system shapes the future. Our jobs, our wealth, our opportunities. But when you see how it really works, you gain something powerful. Clarity. You start to think critically. You start to question. You stop reacting to fear and start responding to facts. That's how real change begins, not by fighting the system blindly, but by understanding it deeply. We've just uncovered how money, debt, and power shape everything around us, from the prices we pay to the decisions world leaders make. And the truth is, the economy isn't just numbers on a screen. It's the story of how our world really works. Part 7. Beyond the numbers. The world economy isn't just about charts, data, or markets. It's a mirror reflecting our choices, our fears, and our ambitions. Every crisis teaches us something. Every recovery rewrites the rules. But the real question is, will we keep repeating the same cycle, or finally learn to see the system for what it is? Because the more we understand it, the less power it has to control us. That's the real freedom. Not wealth itself, but awareness. This is the economic mind, where clarity begins. This channel isn't here to tell you what to think. It's here to help you see clearly, to cut through the noise, connect the dots, and understand what's really driving our world economy. Because when you understand the system, you can't be manipulated, you can only be informed. If you found this video valuable, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new insight. And share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think about the forces shaping our world today. This is the economic mind, clarity over chaos.